Good afternoon and welcome to the Signal Hill Secondary School recreation ground, better known as the Bertil Sinclair playing field. We are here this afternoon, Tobago Sports Live, to bring you live this commentary between Malic Secondary School and Signal Hill Secondary School. Down to crunch time as the points are adding up and the teams are seeking to seat positions in this year's Premiership competition, with Signal Hill, the team that all eyes are upon, as they inch closer to the top of the table. Malic will try to be the stopgap for them today, and we know that schools whose interests are peaked as it relates to positioning on the top three would be hoping one way or the other for different results. So we are going to be carrying this game shortly as the teams are getting in position to take to the field, and we would let you know what's going on. Signal Hill with one of the best run for the Intercol probably since 2015, somewhere there about 10 years now. They have not been in that position on the top, and this year seems to be their best run to get in there. And I guess all of Tobago would be wishing them well, and all the alumni of Signal Hill and past football players as well will be wishing them to get to the top. Just about 2 hurdles to cross, this one today and then to join with Naparima, as Thursday is supposed to be the last day of Premiership, where all the teams that are one game remaining are supposed to be playing, as we would have heard from the president, Mr. Meriri, when he spoke on the television news. They're hoping to play all the games, the final games on Thursday, and all of them should start at the same time, eliminating any kind of team deciding to make certain decisions based upon the outcome of games. So we welcome that, and so from what we know, I don't think that when in the minds of those who would have the creators of the fixtures, that Signal Hill and Naparima would be the two teams, depending on how this game played today. A victory for Signal Hill today will put them Thursday against Naparima, with both teams going in on what will be equal points. I know there is still a match probably outstanding for Signal Hill that is adjudicated upon even as we speak. But all things considered, the Naparima and Signal Hill going in together on same points, with teams looking for the win, because a draw would not do it for any of them if Signal Hill were to bring victory today. A draw would not do it for them, because a draw would simply mean that St. Benedict's, who sits in second position at this time, would take the top of the table. So definitely the game between Signal Hill and Naparima, depending on the results today, is going to pique even keener interest as we get ready for Thursday's final match in the Premiership competition for 2025. So we wait to see how that will unfold. Definitely we see the Malic boys looking very well, cladded in blue and black with white numbers, signaling in the original familiar green and yellow with black slacks, black and yellow slacks. We Signal is playing on the home ground, kicking with the wind. Malic is kicking against the wind, and today the wind is up, even from where I'm standing on a lower level. It's very strong. So Malic will know kicking the ball in the air could lead to the ball just hanging, and in some instances might even be drifting back towards them. Signal Hill would know that because this is their field, so they will know how to play, and they are kicking in the goal that is the most prolific goal or expensive goal on this field, where most of the goals score. I've watched games over and over, and most of the goals score on that end. It is not that the goals will score on the other end, but most score from the end that Signal is kicking towards. And you usually hear me say, very strange that Signal Hill playing in their home, on their home ground, with it's so high in the competition, and you look around to see the students that has come out to watch the game, and wow, a handful. And I tell you, any team coming to Tobago to play Signal Hill on the home ground would probably relish that. No problem at all where crowd is concerned. All right, you'd expect to see this place packed out because of the position of Signal Hill, but not so. I know that exam would have started, so things might be a little different. Some students may have been given the opportunity to go home after exam and so on. That usually happens in some schools. Not too certain if it happened here. So that might explain why the numbers are like that. But even otherwise, the crowd has not been a fantastic crowd by any means. One thing for sure stand out for Signal is the rhythm section. And they must give kudos to the theatre arts teacher for her resilience in terms of getting her boys together and coming out and giving the team a little excitement, some support with the drums. So the ball is kicked off and we are seeing ball movements. It's good to see Marshall back in his usual position. Malic's look very well, look organized going forward as the ball goes into touch for a Signal Hill throw-in. So Marshall is back on team. We have Bradshaw also back. And we have a few players out. Anderson, who started in the last couple of games, out as well. Opportunity for a shot coming on goal and well held by Romeo. As Malic gets their first shot on goal. And this looks like something good, promising for Malic as they continue to see if they could put some passes together and see if they could wear the Signal Hill defense down. A defense that have stood the test during this year's competition, and one expect them to continue to hold to that form with a well-managed midfield and good men on the top. I should say last competition when these two teams met, and we have Watkins, number 7, running this one down for Signal Hill. Would he be able to catch it? Yes, he catches it. Get some support from Morgan. Morgan is there with the ball, plays it inside towards Marcel, Jajael Marcel. He plays it back to Morgan. Morgan is going across goal. Too strong a pass, but it comes back out for a shot. Shot coming on goal, and goalkeeper holds on to that one very, very well. That's the number 22. That's Huskerson. First time I'm seeing the surname, Huskerson. So Huskerson is in goal post for Malic. So both teams getting shot on goal already, which is good. 1-1. Let's see how it unfolds from here. Good movement in the midfield, and then a poor pass by Malic. Ball controlled by Morgan. Bradshaw plays it inside. Taken away there again by Signal, right back to Marshall. Marshall gets some support in D4. That one was threaded through, but well stopped by the defense. But I had a sneaky feeling that it might have been offside. Poor pass, and a shot coming on goal there, and just goes wide. But Signal Hill just a lapse there in their concentration, and eventually from Duncan. Duncan is one of the most steady players on the Signal Hill field, playing in midfield, but he had his lapse there, and luckily for him, it didn't result in a goal. Good press by Malic, and they could see that Malic would have done some homework against Signal Hill and has come out, and they have done what other teams coming to Tobago have not been able to do, to hold Signal Hill in the half and get them to change the form of bringing the ball out from the back. And this is what you like to see from teams whether local or international, that they are studying their opponents and they are looking for opportunities to get them to change the normal rhythm of the game. Ball thrown inside, controlled there by James. James gets some support as the ball comes across the goal post, headed on post there by Morgan, but Morgan headed it down but not to the goal, and then cleared away there by the defense, and eventually ball goes into touch. It's going to be throw-in Signal Hill. Almost thought it would have been a Malic throw-in. Signal Hill. Bradshaw throws it into Marcel. Marcel tries a cheeky header. Again, ball goes into touch. This time the referee says against Signal Hill. In fact, he gives a free kick. Bartholomew plays it back and then receives it throw-in and challenged by Kyle James. And ball goes back into touch. A throw-in for Malic to be taken by the number 4, Bartholomew. And the rhythm section for Signal Hill started. Throw comes in. Bradshaw heads it back upfield. Bartholomew scrapes it on the inside. Signal Hill to control through the center. Looking for some movement. Plays it out. Gets Nickel Williams, who tried to use his speed to go around his man but couldn't get around him. Throw in Malic. Right with the ball, but couldn't bring it under control fast enough. Challenge there, he comes over to Bradshaw. Bradshaw will try to get it inside. He plays a poor pass inside to the captain, number 5, De Silva. Bartholomew receives a ball there and then eventually loses it. Bradshaw, luckily for him, is cleaned up there. Morgan. Back to Marshall. Marcel. Williams. And Malic comes with it the other way. Trying to make a quick break, but easily disposes of it. The ball is played through there towards Watkins. Watkins is taking his man on. He has the legs, has the sprint. He collects the ball at the back of the defense. He plays it to Bradshaw. Bradshaw comes inside, finds Morgan. Morgan to Duncan. Duncan is playing the ball out towards Marcel. Marcel dummies it for Williams. Williams is there with it now. Can he get the crossover? He beats his man down the line and gets the ball across. Goal! Easy goal by James. Right there to tap it in. And Signal Hill has scored their first goal coming off the boot of Kyle James. A ball where Williams would have beaten his man wrong towards the goal line and then got the square ball, and James was right there to just tap into the open post as the goalkeeper would have gone for it and missed. And so Signal Hill 1, Malic 0. Malic will try to bring this one through the captain, De Silva. De Silva plays it out to Bartholomew. Bartho plays it there, but only as far as to Morgan for Signal Hill. And he is rushed there, but luckily for him, he gets it out D4. Plays it to Marcel. That's Jediel Marcel. He plays it out and finds Williams. Williams rolls it down the line for Wright. Wright is confronted there by the number 15, Roberts. Ball back to Williams. Williams is playing this one inside again. Chance of goal! And it just goes wide. Just goes wide. As again, a ball received by James, and James will say he owes it team 1 because this should have been goal number 2. Ball well put in play there by Williams. Bartholomew, as Signal Hill rush them from the back to try to get to them, and Bartholomew is able to bring it downfield. He plays it inside. Defoe is covering for his captain, well for Marshall, as Anderson is wearing the captain's armband today. He wore it in the last game and continue wearing it today. Williams is beaten easy by Roberts along the line. And then challenge there, the referee says play on, no foul. Then the referee holds up play to attend to the player. The ball will be given back to Signal Hill. The referee sees it as a fair challenge. Was calling for the bench, but eventually decided tell them to hold, as the player might have suggested that he doesn't need that attention right now. But eventually the referee is saying hold, as the physio is getting ready to run on with the bag of ice. Signal gets back the ball as was suggested. Morgan playing a nice ball wrong the top four, wrong the back for Bradshaw. Bradshaw just a little slow in getting the ball down to his feet. Eventually does so. Ball is there now with Morgan. Morgan is chipping it over towards the back post. Right is there. We're jumping and missing everybody, and eventually, they kept it in. The referee's assistant says, the referee says foul against the attacking team, so it's a defensive free kick to be taken by the number 15 Roberts, who plays it upfield, but loses the ball in the process. Signal Hill is winning all the second ball in the midfield, and one player for Signal Hill is down. The referee halts play. The ball will be given back to Malic. And Signal Hill has a whole different approach to the pyramid and the physio. Most of the teams, you see them run out with a bag of ice. But this time we're seeing the physio, who I understand is a well-qualified physio, going out with his kit. And that says a whole lot. It's a whole difference. Running out with a kit and opening the kit and taking out a little blue pouch. Not too certain what is contained in it, but he seemed very organized, and that speaks well for the Tobago school. And of course, the guys get the opportunity to get a drink of water. The referee has pulled the play back. So you'll realize that there is no drop ball. And the reason why there is no drop ball is because the referee pulls it back to the foul, because he had allowed the advantage and stopped the game before the advantage had worked out because of the player being down. So he just restarted with the foul. Goalkeeper Hutchinson kicking that one downfield, but not really far, and Signal Hill again gets the second ball, and the referee seeing a foul there. Definitely the player, defender, number 19, that's Punet. Arms was all around James, and why not? You just don't do it in the area. If James is causing you concern, then you got to use all the tactical skills you have in football to prevent him. Nice ball floated in towards the area. Head goes up. Headed away. Ball with Bartholomew. A shot coming on there from Morgan that spins off the outside of his boot and go towards the corner flag. And it's brought out of defense there and eventually put into touch by Marcel. It's going to be thrown in Malic. They throw the ball downfield. Punet loses it there. Marcel is with it. Tries to play towards Watkins, but cleared, handled well there by Bartholomew. It comes back there to signal it through Bradshaw. Bradshaw is taking them for a foot race down the line. He gets the ball across. Opportunity there. Again, ball cleared out by Bartholomew and will spin into touch. It's going to be throw in Signal Hill. Signal Hill takes it throw in quickly. Marshall. D4. Ball played forward. Comes to Duncan. Marcel. D4. And comes off the header of what looks like the number 14 Gabriel and goes into touch, so it's going to be Signal throw in. Williams with his ball in hand, throwing it in, headed away there by the number 21 Burnley, but comes back straight back into the problem there for Malic and cleared out again. Still not out of the pressure yet, as they are trying to see how they can get that ball out, but Signal's players seem to be everywhere. Ball kicked in the wind, held up there, and now comes across field. Bradshaw will collect. Bradshaw has some support in Morgan. Morgan has Marcel with him. Marcel in the midfield. Plays the ball over the top, but I think it's an overweighted pass. It's going to run into touch. The shape of it looks so from the time it left the boot, the speed, and then it's going with the wind. Even though it wasn't that high in the air, you almost knew that he was not going to catch that one. Not today, not tomorrow, maybe not even next week he will catch that. Huskerson kicks that one downfield. Played up further by Philip. Signal controls again. Morgan plays it over the top for a nice ball for Wright. Can Wright get there? Wright tips the keeper and goal. But the referee's assistant flag is in the air, indicating offside. I would love to see it again though. I would love to see it again because I am just a little almost square with the referee's assistant, and I almost thought it was good. And note my words, I almost thought it was good. I would look at the replay. Maybe when the match is through, I'll see it. But it looked well for me at the time. So Malic is saved there by the offside trap. Luckily for them, because that could have been goal number 2. And then it would have been a very hard hill to climb. Ball thrown in deep into the defense, but cleared out there by Signal Hill. Can he get the shot off? The ball is still there now with the number 21. That's Burnley. Still Burnley with it. Well, Burnley releases it. It comes back to Burnley now. And Marcel breaks up whatever plot was being planned there. And Wright is with it now. Wright is trying to take them for a foot race, but too many players to get past. Eventually wins a throw-in for his team. Williams is with it now. Referee will blow for that, pushing on the player just before he climbed to head the ball. He had his hand, elbows bent and then straightening on the back of the player, so you know definitely was a push. And as soft as it might have been, still the rules was a push. So he would have impeded the player from the attacking player from getting in the air by pushing him. Good call, referee. As the ball is there with Marcel, all the players on the line of the 18. Ball kicked in towards the area. Again, opportunity for James. And eventually cleared out there towards the line. Controlled by the number 8 Spence and plays it inside. And this is Malic's time to make a break. But too many players there already. And the number 11 Patterson cannot get through. So the ball is now with Watkins. Watkins plays it inside to Duncan, who eventually they loses it. The ball comes to Bartholomew for Malic, and he is playing a poor pass. He had more time than he thought, and he could have controlled himself, get around that ball and hit it upfield. He just kicked off balance and he just spun off the boot and went outside. Throw. And James reading that one well. Goalkeeper is coming. James, goalkeeper. And the goalkeeper parries and then picks up. Almost he had to keep his eyes on it because he wasn't too certain maybe if he was out of the box, but when he looked down and saw the line, and he was able to pick it back up. Bradshaw headed away this time by the number 5, Da Silva, the captain, and the ball goes into touch. It's going to be throw in Signal Hill. Bradshaw throws it in deep inside. The goalkeeper should have taken that, but he just allowed it to drop. And I tell you, the goalkeeper always tell you the ball coming in the air, catch it at the highest point. He allowed that ball right in the 6-yard box to drop, and luckily for him, nobody was coming on the back post. He got away with it this time, but he has to be very mindful of that. And handball there by the referee, cites that one. Ball is with Morgan. Morgan is robbed of that one there, and you have to say, Rob, the ball is there with the number 11. Nice strong challenge by Marshall, as the number 11 Patterson couldn't get past him. Malic is not out of it, just 1-0. A nice strong challenge there by Morgan, and ball into touch. So it's going to be a Malic throw-in. When you are playing and you are 1 goal down, your back is up that you will get back into it. Ball is thrown in deep, back in towards their half. Bartholomew plays it to send the number 21 Burnley. Burnley plays it to the number 11 there, Patterson, and he's robbed of it by Bradshaw. And then Bradshaw plays a nice ball down. Can the captain keep it from going past? Yes, of course he does. It comes to Bartholomew. Bartholomew plays it upfield to Patterson. Patterson plays it across, but cleared out there by Signal Hill. And De Silva comes into play again, back to Bartholomew. Nice ball played around, but the goalkeeper, Signal Hill Romeo, will collect that easily. Marcel playing that one over the top. Right hand spot. And Wright beats his man and plays a nice ball in. Open chance for goal. Nice defensive work by the defender there, coming in from the blind side there to take that one off the boot of what would have been James, as James was trying to set himself up. And James should have used this spherical view to observe that the man was coming, and it was an easy push, just a little push, and he would have beaten him easily, getting him run across him and then taking it up on the back and just putting it away. But you know, sometimes you're so concerned about getting the shot off that you forget everything else about how to play. But very good piece of defensive work there. You want to see that from the teams covering. Defensive team, they do the covering very well. Nice throw in. Goalkeeper come this time and punches it back out to Bradshaw. Bradshaw plays it back into the area. Missed there, and then comes a chance of shot on goal, and it goes wide. So James have had 3 looks at the goal. 1 he scored, and the other 2 he missed. One coming off his thigh close to his knee and going wide of the post, and the other one he controlled for him and family, and the defender was able to come and take that one off of him easily, putting it into touch and averting danger. Still 1-0. Huskerson kicking the ball in there. Watch how the ball just slows up. And that's the difficulty with the teams coming from Trinidad that doesn't know they're going to kick. The higher you kick the ball in the air, it's not going to get to its target. The ball couldn't even reach the half line because the wind just held it up. Ball thrown in by Bartholomew. And Burnley loses out that one. The ball is now with James. James is an out 1-on-1, 1v1, but the defense come back now. He plays a nice ball across for overlapping, and there goes the number 18 Duncan. But he got there, but the keeper give the credit to the keeper as he came and he prevented him from really doing what he wanted to do. He had to try to take the hustle shot, but the goalkeeper was big, so he couldn't get around him. But very nice pass there by Signal. Number 12 now, that's Riley, placing a ball across. The goalkeeper comes and collects. Williams will bring it forward for Signal Hill, but he cannot beat the number 15 Roberts. Morgan to Watkins. Watkins to Duncan. Duncan swinging that one out towards Williams. Williams a nice space coming down the line. What will Williams do? He's robbed of it by the number 8 Spence, and he plays it towards Burnley. Burnley turns nice and then plays a good ball forward. Gets it there to his number 12, Riley. Riley is trying to send his number 11, Patterson. But Patterson is robbed of it by Bradshaw. Bradshaw will signally plays it down. He gets it there to James. And the referee says foul. So it's going to be kick for Signal Hill. Ball played inside towards Marcel. Marcel out back to Bradshaw. Bradshaw has some time and space. He curls it in towards the area. The ball goes right across to be collected by the number 8 Spence but he loses it. It goes to Williams for Signal Hill. Williams is there with it now. Can he line a shot up? He flicks it on the outside. The ball comes across, headed away there by the defense. Bradshaw is right there, heads it to Morgan. Marshall. Morgan. Nice weighted ball for right. Right. I hold my peace. Offside, says the referee's assistant. Bartholomew goes back to his goalkeeper, wants to hustle to kick it out, and he kicks it into touch. As you can see, the wind assisting that ball in swirling outside. Ball is thrown in there, kept out by De Silva, and then De Silva puts it into touch. It's going to be throw in Signal Hill as the rhythm section strikes up again. Signal Hill throwing that one in towards Morgan. Morgan didn't control as he wanted and had to end up coming quite a way back. The ball is played there now towards the area, right, going after it. Caps his man, collects it, and having a shot. Oh, and it just goes wide. Referee's assistant says corner, as it would have come off the glove, no doubt, of the goalkeeper, because it seems set as though it was heading into the net. And brilliant play by Wright to cap his man, flick it over his head, catch it on the inside, and almost with one motion, hitting it on the volley. And just the hand of the goalkeeper, says the referee's assistant, pushing the ball around the post into touch for a corner to be taken by Signal Hill now. Number 2, defender D4, comes over to take it, and he's kicking right foot, so it's going to be curling in towards the goalpost. Let's see how they do this one. Ball curling towards the back post. Head goes up. Goalkeeper fists again. Head goes up. Still chance for goal. Goalkeeper holds. Hutchinson plays it upfield, but not a good kick out. It goes right back to Signal Hill, who starts another attack again. Williams tried to change the side, but only managed to get it to the defense. And now opportunity here for... Well, that is easily dealt with. And now Watkins is playing forward, has right. He tries to go over towards Williams. The number 10, Morgan. Morgan can't get there. Even from here, I could see that it had gone. Once it reaches that dry grass, you know it has already gone. But I must say to the Signal Hill field manager, the field looks good. Looks very good. The referee says cooling break. So the players will be happy to come take a drink, get some few instructions from the coaches, and then get set and ready to go. And as I said, sometime last when I was here, the cooling break could either help one team one way and maybe not help another team in another way. Sometimes the momentum shift. We saw where Signal Hill was playing against probably St. Anthony's, and when they came in for the cooling break shortly after St. Anthony scored, Signal Hill went on to win that game anyhow, but sometimes this little cooling break does it. Could just break your concentration, your momentum, so it could work in favor of one. Let's see how it will work out. as the teams will go back on. It's not a long break really, it's not a halftime break. It's just a matter of getting a little drink and come back on. But you see the difference between the international players and the the local players. The international players, when they take, even when somebody gets injured and they come on the field with water, the guys will just wash them out. Even some of the, you see the colorful water, I don't know if it's whatever drink, I don't want to promote nobody. Whatever drink they're using, the colorful stuff, the guys will still wash them out and spit it out. And we see them guys drinking a whole bottle of water here. And he says it's a whole different thing, but I guess they will get into that and understand that sooner rather than later. Sometimes I drink that water down like that and you end up with side stitch and all kind of different things, as we say, but they got to know anyway. They're probably accustomed doing that in training, so the body train one way, so they understand that. Not a problem for them. But just observing how they do it internationally. They will just swish that water in the mouth and then spit. Most of the water goes out. The guys drink water, they're drinking colorful stuff. And some guys empty the bottle. Wow. But I guess the coaching staff and physio would have to manage that. The guys' water intake. Tell them about see like a guy finishing a second bottle. Wow. They'd have to probably coach them and teach them the way of water intake while you're running, playing. And even the marathon, when they do, these guys take a sip, they take a whole bottle, they use most of it to wet the skin anyhow. Maybe just a cool. And just a sip sometimes they take and they keep running. So not too certain, but we'll see how that goes. I guess it's a whole different education where that is concerned. Goal kick. Hutchinson pushed that one in the air again, just holding up, it's sitting in the wind. Watkins controls beautifully, and that's one good thing with the Signal players. They control the ball on most times very, very good, right at the foot, which is good. No matter how fast the ball comes, they are able to do that. Ball is there now with James. James is trying to sick his shot on goal, bounce off the goalkeeper chest. Shot again, goal. This time by Wright, and again, you would have heard me say it before. You have to be a goalkeeper, and you can't be a shopkeeper. Shopkeeper, the difference is that shopkeeper give back change, right? And if you give back change, you got to be ready for what is going to come. I mean, nice powerful shot by Wright, but the goalkeeper just simply stood up and just allowed the ball to bounce off his chest, and none of the defenders were fast enough to respond. As all of them, their back was to the goalkeeper. Nobody turned to watch the goalkeeper to see what was happening. And Wright, the number 12 for Signal, just came and tapped that one in again. Well, a nice shot in, and goalkeeper Hutchinson had no chance whatsoever of preventing that one from going into the onion bag. Duncan to Morgan. Morgan is rolling that one through. Ball goes through that to Wright. Wright beats on the inside. Opportunity given up there as the defenders good falling back by the defense this time. The ball is with Duncan. Duncan is playing the ball back inside. The goalkeeper will control that one easily. And then this time he kicks it low and nice, but couldn't get past the midfield of Signal Hill. As Signal Hill continues to put the pressure on. And they could tell you that the Signal Hill boys are a very, very, very fit bunch of players. They just seem to have that burst of energy that they could turn it on whenever they are ready. And kudos to the coaching staff. Ball is with Watkins. Watkins plays it back to Marcel. Marcel plays a nice return pass for Watkins. Watkins is in the area. What will Watkins do? He beats back on the inside. Looking for the shot. He plays it inside and he plays it behind the advancing Marcel, who was looking for it. The ball goes back downfield. Defoe is with it, and if the referee says handball against Signal Hill. and D4 should have hold on to it, but he let it down and they stand on the ball, which is the right thing to do. Give your defending team chance to get back in. All the little tricks and so on in football that you use. Number 10 having a shot from outside. That's Philip, but easily charged down by Signal Hill, and Signal Hill is trying to move forward with the ball. One thing with Signal Hill, that they lose the ball and within less than 30 seconds they win it back, and they've been training for that. So the opposition has to come very hard at them. They play a sort of a Barcelona type of football, when Barcelona would in 15 seconds or less they win that ball back as soon as they lose it. So that's why when you check the stats, Barcelona 86% ball possession, the other team 14, because they lose it and they win it back with just as fast as they lose it. Player down on this side, Bradshaw. Guess something to do with the head, hence the holding up of play, and hence the no great move by the referee to have him taken off the field, because you got to make sure all is well before he thinks. So the referee says he has to come off. So the referee says, right, play. So he's back on. It was right on the touch line anyway. Ball played forward. Diagonal pass. Again, referee says foul on right. It's a free kick. Free kick Malic. And I should say last year when the two teams met, they met in Malic. And Malic won that game 3-2. And how the Premiership plays, if I played you at your home the year before, the next year I come at your home, and so that's how it is. Signal Hill is trying to make full use of their home ground as Marcel goes right back, all the way back to Romeo. Romeo will now start it to his left through D4 and Williams combining. Williams tried to send it through, and a nice ball played over the top for Watkins, who has the speed and has the legs. He could catch it, and he will catch it. He catches it, and good, nice, strong challenge there. And both men are Bartholomew and Watkins. Eventually, Bartholomew tackling from behind. And whether or not he got all ball, because some people might be arguing all ball, the fact is that the rule says he cannot challenge from behind, and he did challenge. And eventually, quite rightly so, ball given back to Signal Hill. Duncan. Bradshaw. And Bradshaw didn't control as he tried to control it and move in one motion, and probably didn't realize he was that close to the touch line. Eventually, the ball going into touch. So it's going to be throw in Malic, who since after the first shot they had on goal, they have not seen that area of the field. Referee says hand the ball against Bradshaw. They would leave it for Bartholomew. So Bartho to take this one. Bartho plays that one into the air. Ball hanging again because of the wind. Nice shot on goal. Save, brilliant save by Romeo. And now the ball is there with the number 11, Patterson. Patterson is with it, looking for some help. Patterson tried to beat his man on the goal line, but he's never going to get past Romeo that way. He gets him inside. Nice clear away by Signal Hill, being put under some pressure for our first time after such a long time. Shot coming in there. Goal held on there by Romeo. Again, The wind helped to take all the sting off that ball. Ball is now coming there. End-to-end action. As the ball comes on there towards the defense there. Bartho is there. Bartholomew. Still Bartholomew. The referee says again, and good consistent refereeing. Just as he would have awarded the Signal Hill free kick for tackling from behind. Again, it was the same case, tackling from behind. And even though the Signal Hill player would have won the ball, it was a tackle from behind. So again, Bartho will kick it downfield. He kicks it, floating it nice downfield. Headed into touch by Bradshaw, and it's going to be throw in Malic. Bartho throws it in tight towards his number 19, Punnett. Punnett is losing out on it but wins it back. And Signal Hill again wins it back quickly, but Punnett is still there. And won there by Malic. And Signal Hill will now try to bring it forward. Morgan plays a nice ball, but then a poor pass as it goes there towards Burnley, who plays a nice ball inside. The goalkeeper had to come and collect. As Malic tried to move forward, Duncan, the man in the engine room, plays it forward, but cleared out there by the number 5, De Silva, the captain. And goes into touch. There's going to be throwing Signal Hill. D4 playing that ball. Nice change of play towards Bradshaw. Bradshaw controls. He has one man with him. He ups to go. He plays it inside towards Marcel. That's Watkins rather. Watkins going to control it to the right now. Right, try to beat back on the inside. Still right. Plays up, try to play the ball through. It comes there to Duncan, who was a little bit casual in terms of control. It with Philip now. Philip is trying to play the ball over the top, but can't get it past Marshall. A Signal will come forward with it again. Williams try to send that one through to James. James goes around his man. He gets support in Marcel. Marcel then tried to play it back to James, who really and truly they didn't communicate there. There was no communication there, and eventually ball goes into touch for a goal kick. Guess James was expecting Marcel to change the play. Marshall. Nice turn by Spence, but loses it after the nice turn. Goalkeeper Huskerson, he bowls it out. Opportunity here for Malic, but they can't get past the defense, and the referee says foul. Not too certain how the foul, but the referee says foul. Just on the outside of the 18 yards. So Signal will have to defend here. And I tell you the trick with this goalpost that the Malic team is kicking in. If the player kicks low, he stands a good chance of scoring. Anytime he goes over the wall, he's going over the goal. Because the goalpost is set in a way where it's almost like it's down in a hole. So once he goes over the top, you see the players standing there. They almost look as though they're taller than the goalpost. If he go over the top of the players, he was able to get it over and down, but no trouble at all. And that's the problem. You go for the nice precision kick with no power. If you go for power, it just keeps going. Bradshaw throws it in towards right. Right to a switch is line. So he's now on the left side. Signal Hill trying to win it back. Ball played forward there towards Burnley, but again played out. And now it is Watkins who has shifted side. So Watkins goes right and right comes left. WRIGHT comes left. Signal win that ball easily, and right is there with it. 1v1. as he tries to beat his man, but he comes back to Morgan. Morgan goes inside to Marcel. Marcel comes back out to Bradshaw. Can Bradshaw get the nice weighted pass in? He has 1v1. He opts to go inside, but a strong pass towards the back post. And the ball is going to run close to the touchline, controlled there by Williams. Williams is with it still Williams. Plays it out to find Duncan. Duncan is having a shot from outside, but not going to trouble the goalkeeper today. The idea of having a shot wasn't bad, but the distance he was coming from and the direction posed no problem at all for goalkeeper Hutchinson. So Hutchinson is playing that one out. Get him some support there in his number 8. Well, number 14, Gabriel. And now it is with Signal Hill. D4. Ups to go big. Patterson heading it down there for his number 10, Philip. But they lose out again, and it comes with Signal Hill now. Bradshaw is with it. Bradshaw plays a nice ball for right, but that's too strong a pass. It's going to go into touch. And goal kick, Malic. Goalkeeper Hutchinson. Bradshaw heading it back down. Put back up by the number 19, Punnett. Controlled by Signal Hill. Watkins. Bradshaw. Playing the simple pass. Ball played back there to the goalkeeper as Wright was slow in coming out of defense. Not too certain why he was that slow. The ball went a long way downfield and he's only now coming out. Gabriel for Malic couldn't keep it in. Throw in Signal Hill. Throw quickly taken. James. That's Kyle James. Playing it back to Duncan. And Duncan is forced to turn backwards. James. Duncan. Marshall. James. Bradshaw. And the referee's assistant said Bradshaw is in an offside position. Batho to take it for Malic. Bartholomew floating that one, and that's the sound of the referee's whistle indicating that that's the end of the first period of play. Just to recap for you, Malic had the first shot on goal, well handled by the goalkeeper, no trouble, and eventually Signal Hill took it over. And the first goal coming from the boot of Kyle James, as he just had a nice tap in as Williams went around the back of the defender squaring it. Goalkeeper couldn't get to it and James had to just tap into an open goal. And then the second goal came from the boot of Wright. A shot taken by James as he capped his man, came on the inside, had the shot, but the goalkeeper, the shot proved too hot to handle, too hot to hold, and eventually bounced off his chest, coming back into play, and Wright was right there to side foot it very hard past the goalkeeper into the back of the net. And so the goal line here is Signal Hill 2, Malic 0. We join you in the second period of play. Back live here, just about to take the second period of play. Again, Malic versus Signal Hill, or I should say Signal Hill versus Malic. Signal Hill is the home team. The game is being played right here at the Bertha Sinclair playing field at Signal Hill Secondary School. Signal Hill taking the lead in this game, as they have done this time around in their home games. They have played very beautifully at home, except for St. Benedict's that came and beat them right here. And the loss that they had to Arima North. Other than that, they have played superb football for the season, and that continues to show out here today as they are leading in this encounter by 2-0. Signal Hill will be kicking against the wind, but this is their home ground, so they should know how to play. And they are not a team that plays ball in the air too much anyhow, except for crosses. They usually play along the ground, which is what you want to see the ball doing the work nice along the ground to foot and so on. And they look very well doing it. One thing we'll observe with the Signal Hill team, and that's when you tell a team that is in good form, you tell the team by the bench. And Signal Hill have players on the bench that could make the starting 11 and has made the starting 11. Right? When all the players come out and everything is well with everybody, it's a hard team to pick. And that's a good problem for a coach. Signal Hill attacking this time. Patterson playing it inside for Philip. Philip back to Burnley. Cross coming and that's gone behind, but Patterson looked good coming forward there and having a shot. The angle itself though, it would have been the goalkeeper mistake for a goal to score from that angle. The goalkeeper was already on the post, so it would have had to hit the goalkeeper and go in. Luckily for the goalkeeper, it went behind. Signal tried to move forward with it. Duncan to Marcel. As Marcel and James share that one around a little bit. Get D4 involved in it now. As you can see the wind picking up here. Nice ball played down there for Bradshaw. Bradshaw as having a strong challenge coming in there, but even with the strong challenge, the ball still didn't go into touch. Bradshaw plays it back to Watkins. Watkins is coming across, goal post, beats one, and then runs into some trouble as the ball is cleared away there easily by defense. Out towards Patterson. Patterson to Philip. Philip is turning back and coming back downfield, putting himself in some trouble, but eventually gets out of it, turn it over to Burnley, but the ball comes off. Nice piece of defensive work by Williams. The ball was going out and he kicked it against the body of Burnley and winning a throw. Throws it in. Spence is there with it but loses out to Marcel. Marcel is playing a ball on the back of the defense. Goalkeeper is coming, has to come out of the area and does so and clear it upfield. As far as to Duncan, who shows very good skills in taking that ball down from the chest from a height and landing it at his feet. Bradshaw used the burst of speed, goes around his man. Can he get the cross in? Cross comes in. The ball is there, left hand. Marcel taps it in and goal. Goal by Marcel. Goal number 3. Very well worked play by Bradshaw. Going down the byline. James just dominated it as it came across. And Marcel just running into the area and side footing it into the net. And that's goal number 3. So Signal Hill continues to add to their tally. And coincidentally, if you call it that, the goal that has the most goals scored on this ground is the goal that Signal Hill never train in. They don't train on that end of the field at all. And maybe it's the tactics of the coaching staff recognizing maybe the difficulty of scoring in that goal, that they usually train from that end. So they are well acquainted with that area and can indeed make something out of nothing. That's where they train, and I have seen them train many times, and they play according to their training. You could see them doing the things that they do. Player goes to ground, referee says foul. And the player has to be careful with that, throwing the ball away after the referee made his decision. That could easily be cited as dissent, and he could earn a card by doing that. The referee points the direction, you drop the ball and you go. You don't throw it away. And he did that with a matter of disgust. Ball played there towards Bradshaw. Bradshaw, the man who was the assist in this goal scored there by Marcel. Marcel is with it now. Finds Morgan. Morgan is losing it there. Marcel comes and clean up and then plays a nice ball out to Bradshaw. Bradshaw is playing that one down the line for Watkins. Watkins is taking it to the byline. Can Watkins get the crossover? He just overruns it. And eventually the captain, De Silva, is playing it back off field, but not far as it comes here. Morgan is looking to line up a shot and he was charged on there by Spence. And the ball is played up line. Patterson can't get there before the defense of Signal Hill. and that's Marshall. Marshall plays it downfield there towards Bradshaw. Bradshaw controls and comes inside to Duncan. Duncan is swinging it out. Nice ball there for Williams. Williams control, and then he's robbed of it by the number 14 there, Gabriel. And the ball is played on the inside. Marcel wins it back and plays it over the top. This could be a chance before offside, and it will be called. Yes, it definitely. Referee is going to look at his assistant now. The referee still have not seen his assistant flag indicating offside. Now it's offside, and it's a good call. I was calling it even before the referee assistant flag was in the air. It was a good call, and who better to see it than the referee's assistant? She's right in spot to see it. So at the end of the day, we know how spectators are, especially when you support a team. You will like everything go your way. It doesn't always work so. And I've seen the game play. I've refereed game before, and people make noise with the referee and the referee team when they lose a game. They blame the referee for losing the game. And when you look at the footage and everything, yeah, as referees, nobody get everything right. But even when they get it wrong, it didn't result in a goal. They lose the game because they just didn't play good. But they will still blame the referee, the referee team for that, for losing the game. You know, you have to blame somebody for something. And I think sometimes we put a lot of unnecessary blame on the referee team. And I respect the work that they do. Sometimes we call them, we say, yeah, referee could have make a different thing to that. And for me, it's more in the technical part of the refereeing that I may come down on a referee for. Not so much so the decisions, whether offside or so, but mainly for decisions that could have helped the game to keep going and that sort of thing. We would deal with that. Like in this case, this is an injury. I'm not too certain if it's off the ball because I can't remember that player being in a tackle. So that the referee could order them to come off the field and deal with that on the outside. It's not a head injury. So things like that you'll hear me talk about. I may question a call for offside, but I wouldn't keep it going, because at the end of the day, where I am and where the referee assistant is still different. They are seeing the game from square on. I'm still at an angle. Ball played forward. And Gabriel Romeo will get his first touch for this second period. Duncan to James. James playing over for right. Well cut out there by Gabriel. And played downfield. The number 12, Riley. Heavily strapped on the knee. So you know he probably carrying some injury. Ball thrown in by Gabriel to Riley. And put back into touch, so it's going to be thrown again for Riley. Takes it this time, throws it in towards the number 10, Philip, but Philip can't get there before the defensive signal hill. Headed by Spence. Marshall heads it out. And the number 19, that's Punnett, is losing it. The ball is with James. James plays it out to Bradshaw. As signal hill move forward. Bradshaw. Again, that's a tackle from behind, almost pulling the player foot, but the referee allowed the advantage to play. Ball is there now with Bradshaw to Morgan. Morgan tried the difficult pass. He could have gone shorter to Marcel, but opted to go wider and eventually missing out. The ball is there, and Patterson had a shot to goal, and that's goal. The signal hill would have made a mistake in the back there, and even the goalkeeper coming and clearing, and Patterson was able to pick that one up and hitting into an open goal. And that's goal number 1 for Malic. But it started from a breakdown in play where Morgan tried to go the difficult pass. he had Marcel right there and could have laid it on for Marcel, but instead he opted to go for the harder pass, and it never got to the person intended. Player stamping there, but the referee didn't see that. Ball is there now with Burnley, who tried to play it over the top. The ball goes there towards D4, and D4 is putting that one into touch, and it's going to be a corner for Malic. And I tell you, that goal post is the most prolific goal post on the ground. I don't know why. The away teams, they seem to love it as well. So it's 3-1. Let's see whether or not Malic could bite away at this deficit. Ball comes in by Gabriel in number 14. Headed into goal. And the captain, number 5, De Silva, with unchallenged in the box, was able to head that one into the goal. And that's goal number 2 for Malic, as Malic starts what looks like a real great comeback. And Signal Hill has to probably ask himself what is really going on, because a man didn't even have to jump in the box. He stood at his usual height and headed a ball past everybody into the goal. Nobody contesting the ball, nobody challenged, and that's goal number 2, Malic. Let's see, Malic will now have the belief that they could pull this. This goal post is the goal post. Maybe they have been listening to the commentary and would have heard maybe they were the one who won the toss and choose that side. The ball is played over the top there now as the foot race is on. Ball comes there, players go down, and the referee says penalty. Well, if he's pointing in that direction, it will have to be penalty. No, he pulls it back to the edge of the 18. He pulls it back to the edge of the 18. But from where I saw the incident took place, it's not too far from where the players fell. But then again, I do not have the footage to show, to see exactly where. But from my first view, it would have happened inside the box. But Malic would have to thank the lucky stars that wasn't awarded as a penalty. So Signal, however, still gets the opportunity because they train here all the time. They know the ground, and they can score from that. The angle is more to the left or the right of the goalkeeper, more to the right post. So they have the whole broadside to the left of the goalkeeper open. Can somebody get a shot there as the wall is being set up? 1, 2, 3, 4. And another one joining 5-men wall. Well, 4-men wall. And the goalkeeper comes to the back post. Is he going to start it from the back post? He's setting up 2 walls. So there are 4-men wall and then 2 men. Shot coming to go. Oh, and just goes wide. But it was, the referee says it took a deflection because the level of the shot was good. The direction seemed to have been well. And then eventually it ended up outside. So it had to be that it took a deflection. The ball is there now. Marcel, the number 17, will bring it in. He usually curls it towards the back post. This time he goes front post. Headed away easily by the defense of Malic. Williams move forward. Still Williams with it. He gets some support in Watkins. Watkins towards right. Right is robbed of it, and then the ball is played forward. But Marshall is there to clean it up. Or D4 rather is there to clean it up. And it goes into touch. Throw in quickly by the number 15, Roberts. But back down the field by Signal Hill. De Silva plays it out wide. Gets out to Patterson, the goal scorer. Patterson is trying to use the energy, burst of energy and speed, but can't get around Bradshaw. He wins it back, plays it on the inside. Cleared up there by D4, still with them. Shot coming! Goal again, a goalkeeper giving back change. But luckily for him is that the defense was there to read it. Again, Signal Hill look very suspect here with this pressure being applied here by Malic. and they have to get it together in the back. Must get it together in the back. Malic trying to make sure they pull something out of this game and looking very well set to do such. The ball is there with Watkins. Watkins is playing it over for James. James is taking the ball in towards the area. James is in the area using the speed. Still James, and the ball eventually put there and goes into touch. It's going to be corner. Referee says goal kick. It should have been a corner. Well, at the end of the day, neither the referee or the assistant got close enough, and when in doubt, you go to the defending team. Don't blame them for that. That's how we do it. When in doubt, you go defending team. Ball played up over the top. Romeo take a few steps back to collect that one. Duncan to D4. D4 over the top, trying to send James. There is a Marcel going towards it, but cleared away there by the number 15, Roberts. Roberts plays it upfield, but control again by Signal Hill. Signal Hill with the very competent and composed Duncan. And now the ball is lost there from Signal Hill. As the ball comes forward, they head it away back to Duncan. Duncan is playing a nice ball towards right. Right, try to take it on the outside of the boot. He tries to keep it in, it stays in. And Signal Hill wins it back. The ball is headed there towards Marcel. Marcel played a nothing pass really. He's a better player than that, but this time he just played a nothing pass, eventually winning that throw in. And he leaves the throw in for Nickel Williams. Williams throwing it in towards the box. Comes around to Kyle. Kyle is trying to flick it on, but cleared, handled well by the defense. As they play it out, he comes right back. Bradshaw is with it. Beat his man well. And then a long pass, but he wins the ball. Challenge. And then goes into another challenge. The referee says foul. So it's going to be foul against the Silver. Foul for Signal Hill. Right. Comes to Marcel. Marcel is having a shot, but over the bar. Well over the bar. Good power. Good direction. But the height, what let him down. Ball is played into touch. It's going to be throw in Signal Hill. Bradshaw throws that in. Ball is there now with Duncan. Williams. Right controls. And ball put into touch for throw-in Signal Hill. William throws it in. Headed across there. Morgan to control. And then go over find Watkins. Watkins is with it. Watkins comes on the inside. Having a shot. Ooh! And just went over the bar. It looked as though it was dipping while it was coming. And just clearly went over the bar. Hutchinson kicks the ball forward. Roberts is there with it. Comes back to Morgan. Morgan to right. Right miscontrols, but had enough to turn and win the throw in. So he's going to get the throw in. Nickel Williams comes over to take the throw in here for Signal Hill. Williams throws it into the area, deep into the area. Headed on there by Marcel, but no one is there to follow up, and in the clear downfield by Malic, who is doing a better job this time holding in defense. And the ball goes right down towards D4. D4 plays inside to Duncan. Duncan to Bradshaw. And Signal Hill now having a terrible run in terms of ball possession and in terms of passes. Ball is now with Marcel. Marcel controls, looks up. He goes flicking it on the outside of the boot. Goalkeeper comes and player goes down. Goalkeeper saves again. Dangerous there for Malic. But eventually the ball comes there towards Romeo. Signal Hill, so it's end-to-end action from one goal post to the next. Ball put back downfield. Headed there by the number 19, Ponet. But now Signal Hill through Watkins. Signal Hill through Watkins. What can Watkins do? Watkins try to cut on the inside. But the number 15, Roberts is right there, and he was able to charge that down and then beats Nice. Can he keep it in? He managed to do so. Still with it, Roberts bringing it upfield. Plays down, gets some support from Philip. Philip comes on his inside and then try to a nice cross ball. But Williams is there to clean up. It comes to Wright. Can Wright move forward as Williams makes a run down line? The ball is played there towards Williams. Can Williams collect and go into the box? Williams hops over it, challenge heavily there, but turns on the inside nicely. Still Williams, and he tries to cut between them, but eventually the ball is taken away there. And now, nice move, nice turn by the number 12, Riley. He plays a nice ball forward towards Patterson. Patterson back out to Riley. Riley is trying to race up the line, but he couldn't catch that, and it's going into touch, and it's going to be throwing Signal Hill. As Signal is about to make substitution here, we have the number 6, Trim, Kalim Trim, and the number 14, Anderson, coming in. That's Kian Anderson and Trim coming in. And who is coming out? Morgan comes out. And who else comes out? Williams comes out. So Morgan and Williams out. Anderson and Trim in. And like I said, both Anderson and Trim are starters. So it's not really normally in football teams you see, especially locally and schoolboy, when you go to the bench, it's lesser players coming on. Not with Signal Hill. When you go to the bench, you have even players that could match the skill of those out coming in. Ball still in play. Referee's assistant raised the flag now and points corner. So it's going to be corner, Signal Hill. Ball coming one to the back post. Head goes up. Missed there. Still a chance to shot on goal. Goal by James. Is it James or Watkins? James. So James, indeed, he gets his brace. So the lead goes back up to 2. It's 4-2. Remember I told you last time the two teams met at home in Malic. Malic won by 3-2. And the goals were at that a while ago. It's now 4-2. Referee says go for a drink. So there's a cooling break for the guys. And a good time for Signal Hill to rethink their strategy and to try to see how they can and what they can do in terms of holding this very important lead, because a win for them today is important, means that they will go equal or almost equal with Naparima. Still not too certain what happens with the St. Augustine game. I know the last time I checked they said that it was a game being adjudicated upon to see whether or not Signal will get the game. So we wait to see how that will play off. So while the players are taking a cooling break, remember the scoreline here is Signal Hill 4, Malic 2. Players are all set and ready to continue this game. We see also the number 5 for Signal Hill, which is Job coming in, Kalani. So Signal Hill took the opportunity to make another change. So Malic is there with it, trying to move forward. James to Watkins. Right back to Bradshaw. Marshall goes over the top again, the ball hanging in the wind. And they trying to catch the Malic team with that because they wouldn't know that the ball wouldn't reach them. So they'll be back and looking at the trajectory of the ball and trying to back and realize that the ball is just hanging. Again, players collide, quite rightly given by the referee. Signal player given the foul against because he was reaching in, coming in there. A late challenge, if one might say. Malic kicking with the wind. Plays that one forward. Watkins tried to play it inside but robbed of it there. And Malic tried to move forward with an attack. Ball played around the back, headed back out there. Gabriel plays it back in. Headed away there by Marshall. Bartholomew. That's Trim. So Romeo bowls it out to start it over for Signal Hill. Bradshaw. Nice turn on the outside there by Watkins. Watkins come over field towards Anderson. Anderson plays it forward to Marcel. Marcel, not a good pass. Bradshaw, not a good header either. And eventually ball put into touch is going to be thrown in. Malic. Signal Hill just losing their ability to hold possession of the football, which they are good at. I'm not too certain what is going on here this afternoon. Philip plays it back out. Get some support. The ball comes in there again. Poor pass by Malic. And now it is Watkins playing the ball forward for James. James is going. Goalkeeper coming. Goalkeeper gets there first and clears it into touch. It's going to be through in Signal Hill. Bradshaw throws it back to D4 to Marshall. Marshall is playing it over, all the way over to Anderson. Anderson managed to keep it in to D4, but D4 plays a poor pass. Spence is pushing it forward, trying to get to Riley. Riley, strong challenge by Duncan. I tell you, Duncan is a man in the engine room, but the ball comes back there to Spence. Spence is losing it as Marcel collects and plays it there. D4 is kicking it forward, or Anderson rather is kicking it forward. The ball comes there to Marcel. Marcel is trying to play a ball through, but too straight a ball, and it's going to go to the keeper. He needed to be on an angle for the man coming around the back. Ball played high into the air downfield. Bradshaw is right there, and he will shepherd it into touch, and he manages to do just that. So throw in Signal Hill as Malic tries to keep the pressure on, and the coaching staff would indeed feel much more relieved that they had managed to put 2 into the back of the net. Ball is thrown forward, headed back in upfield, again headed down. Throw in Malic, says the referee's assistant. Bartholomew throws it into Punet. Punet then plays a poor pass. Marshall is aiming, asking James to go. The ball comes there towards Marcel. Marcel plays it out to Job. Job leaves it to run to Anderson, but he didn't have enough pace to get there, and Punnett cleans up. Then Punnett plays a bad pass on the inside, and Marcel loses it trying to dribble across. D4. Trim heads it there, but only as far as to the Burnley. Then he loses it. Marcel is with it, and then plays a pass, not too certain what he meant to do with that. But at the end of the day, you hear the coach and him having a few exchange. Never mind, the coach is father and son. The exchange is father and son. And then right after that, he fouls the player. Ball played a field, the goalkeeper comes and collect, no problem whatsoever. Job collects. What can Job do with it? Referee says hand the ball against Job. So it's going to be free kick. Malic ball to Gabriel. Gabriel is playing it wrong towards the back post. Goalkeeper comes out, jumping the challenge. The ball comes off the player and then goes into touch, and it's going to be goal kick, Signal Hill. It was a 50-50 challenge in the air. Goalkeeper got hand to ball, didn't hold on, but the ball bounced off the goalkeeper, maybe into the face of the player. And he's there adding some theatrics to it, rolling everywhere. Signal brings the ball forward now. Bradshaw plays it inside, straight over the top towards Anderson. Ball played down the line, well read there by D4. Job is there to clean up. Goes inside to Marcel. Duncan. Bradshaw. Job. Or is it Trim? Trim straight over to Anderson. Anderson goes down the back post. Goal! By Kyle, and that's his hat-trick. Kyle James coming in for a nice ball floated there by Anderson towards the area. And that's goal number 3 for Kyle James and goal number 5 for Signal Hill. A ball that was squared in, well weighted, well floated by Anderson, the assist in this rounds, and it was Kyle James coming in from the back post, side-footed it in while he was in the air, so jumping and side-footing past the goalkeeper into the back of the net, and that's goal number 5, Signal Hill. And this is James again, 1v1. But nice strong challenge this time by the number 14 Gabriel. James coming to side towards goalkeeper, comes and claim, he misses. Chance for a shot and goal. Goalkeeper saves. Cleared out there by the defense, but the opportunity went up again there. And Duncan is with it. Can Duncan have a shot? He plays it inside to Job. Can Job have the shot? Job shoots. Blocked away by the goalkeeper, by the defense. And ball comes in next way through Roberts. Roberts is moving, motoring downfield. He plays it to Philip. Philip is playing it out to get some support and look like Spence. He comes back inside, find Bartho. Bartho is with it. He plays it over. That's Bartholomew playing it over. It comes right over there. And Spence is trying to push that ball forward. But it's going to run into touch. And it is going to be goal kick, Signal Hill. Signal starting from the back again. D4 plays a poor pass as Anderson was asking Anderson to come around. And Anderson didn't think substitutions to be made here. The number 7 for Malic, McFarlane. That's Shahid McFarlane. McFarlane is coming in. Who is coming out? Is it Bartholomew or is it number 11, the goal scorer? Patterson. It looks like the goal scorer Patterson is coming out. And McFarlane, the number, no, that's Bartholomew, the defender, comes out. So the Malic team is making a move, removing a defender maybe for a striker. And why not? 5-2, you're already losing anyhow. The best thing is to try to get your team into a winning position. You can bring on all strikers and see if you can get it there. The ball is now with the number 14, Gabriel, for Malic. He leaves it for his number 9, Hosani, which is Giovanni Hosani. Hosani goes with a nice ball, floated in. Goalkeeper comes and collect, and looks very well doing it. Gets above all the players and just took that one, pouch it in the glove, and the ball is played forward quickly as Kalim Trim puts the race on. Eventually, ball goes into touch. Gonna be throwing signal here. Ball thrown in towards Anderson. Anderson is kicking it again towards the back post. Guess who? James is there again, heading it back across, but the goalkeeper too close to the goalkeeper, and he collects and boots it downfield. Huskerson throw in for Malic, number 14, Gabriel. Throws it inside, headed back into touch by Mills. As Signal would have made 2 changes as well. Mills coming in. And this is one of the instances where sometimes you are given a team sheet. On my team sheet says that Mills is 21. It's a good thing I know Mills. Mills has come in, and Mills is wearing number 24, which is a number that Grant usually wears. Well, it's a good thing that I am familiar with Mills at least, else I would have called him Grant. And Grant already accused me of calling everybody for him. Grant is out injured, carrying a knee injury. And if it was Malic in front, I would have said delay tactics. And the only tactic that they could be using to delay the game is to prevent goals, if that is probably what they're doing. But there's no other tactics because they're not winning. They're taking so long to get the player off the field. The stretcher bearers are on. The player is making no move to get onto the stretcher. But then again, why not? It's 2 Signal men draped in Signal uniform coming to take him off. And just peradventure, they slip. And he falls out. I think I probably would have rather walk. The rule is that once the stretcher comes on, you're supposed to come off on the stretcher. See a member of the coaching staff, the coach and everybody coming into play because those 2 schoolboys couldn't lift that young man. They look good. They look good doing it, and we say kudos to the coaching staff, Mr. Donny Marcel, and for taking the opportunity to assist in getting the player off the field. In fact, they're the home team. They're supposed to provide that. So it's good to see the coach, because he didn't have to do it. It's good to see him doing it. Ball throw in for Signal Hill. Thrown downfield. James goes to ground. Ball played over the top, but the goalkeeper will come and play it back upfield. And Hutchinson, a bad kick, and you had time. Anderson throws the ball forward, headed back downfield. Back to Anderson, and it's almost as though they are juggling the ball. Two same players heading the ball up and down. Eventually, the ball brought under some kind of control. Philip is with it now. Spence is with it. Spence loses it. And it's just a scrappy bit of football being played there now. Finally, the ball is in the hands of the goalkeeper for Signal Hill, who plays it to his last stopper, Marshall. Trim plays a very difficult ball. Trim plays there, and they lose it, and the players go down, and the referee says foul against Signal Hill. Again, a very poor pass by Trim. The weight of the pass was ridiculous. It is one of those passes they call a hospital ball, because the only thing that pass will do is get his player into hospital. That challenge for injury. A ball for injury. Malic is with it now. What can Malic do? No wall is, yes, a wall is set, wall of two men. Kick towards the goal, bounce and goes wide. It looked good for a while, and looked as though it was challenging the last post, but the goalkeeper was right there, and it bounced and then went wide. Marshall. De Silva. Still De Silva. Then a poor pass there. Trim leaves it for Marshall. Marshall plays it to Bradshaw. Bradshaw plays it inside for Mills. Mills to Trim. Trim back to Mills. Mills is threading a pass to the back, but the number 19, Roberts, is there to keep things at bay, and then the ball goes into touch, and it's going to be goal kick. And the referee assistant indicating substitution to be made. Number 23, Moore, Emmanuel Moore goes in. That's Emmanuel with an I. Not too certain. Maybe the player that was down injured, he's the one that is off. The number 12, Riley. Gabriel tried to beat his man on his back. Why did Gabriel do that? Ball comes in there, and James could have done better than that with that pass. Not too certain what he tried. D4. Job. De Silva. Playing it from Moore. Moore catches it, and then the ball goes into touch. Throw in Signal Hill. Philip pulls it away, but then loses out as the ball comes forward towards James, the man with the hat-trick. Played back up, and goalkeeper is called to come and retrieve, which he does. Booted high in the air as it goes there. Now it's a foot race towards the goal. We have Job coming on the outside there, but ball put into touch by Roberts for Malic, and it's going to be throw in Signal Hill. As we could see on the northern side of the island, showers already coming there. We have a piece of dark cloud towards our east that might come our way. We're hoping it comes after the game. We can feel some drops already, but we hope it will come at the whistle. The ball is there now with Moore. Moore, who has just come in. Still Moore trying to make some foot movement, but a cluster of defenders around him, and he manages only to get it outside, and it's going to be throw-in Signal Hill. Throw-in Signal Hill. And the light is fading here, and fading quickly, as it is that time of the year. And then there is overcast conditions, which is adding to the light fading. Pass comes there, but Burnley picks it up, and the referee says foul against Burnley, the number 21. Not too certain there is much time remaining, and given the conditions as well, the darkness, we may get a whistle anytime now. And it's throw-in Signal Hill. Ball thrown in there. Anderson chips it in. Goalkeeper comes and claims. And then does a nice kick down the road. You see the difference? When he was on the other side, he kicked it. It was just hanging in the wind, staying there. Now it has gone all the way down to the corner flag. Throw in Signal Hill. And from the corner flag, he ran about 10 meters down the line and then released the ball. Light is really fading here, and I tell you, if it was a cricket match, it would have been, players would have been sent to the pavilion a long time ago. They are playing with a much bigger ball, so I guess the play will continue, but it's really dark. I'm certain that the light you're getting from my camera will make it look much better than I'm saying it, but you got to see it with the natural eyes to know that it's really dark. It's getting dark. See the physio from Malic running out. It's 5-2 the score here for Signal Hill, with Kyle James getting a brace in this half with the one he got first to give him 3 goals in the match. The other one scored by Wright and Marcel to make up the 5 goals scored to D. Malic goals were scored by De Silva, the captain, heading into literally a unchallenged header into the goal, and Patterson with a nice ball that he got at the back of the defense from a poor piece of defensive work, and he made them pay with a classical finish. Well, I will believe that any time from now we can get a whistle, because even with the time, for sure there is a light problem and the player is taking a long time out there. There should be some added time, but I'm not even certain that they will get added time in the lighting condition that is here. It is heading up to 20 past 5. 20 past 5. The sunlight from the west is gone completely, as there are some dark cloud hanging on the west, so you're not getting no sunlight here at all. Whatever remains of daylight, the ball is kicked down, and then that's Burnley cannot control. It goes into touch. It's going to be thrown in Signal Hill. Ball thrown in. James control and then goes on the inside. plays it out for a Kalim Trim that has come too much in and has to run towards the line to retrieve, but then collects, plays it to Mills, back to Trim. Trim back to Mills. A poor pass. And more, the number 23 that comes in came in for Malic. Tried to send that one downfield. Anderson now brings it up for Signal Hill. Playing it over the top, and that looked like it could be offside, but the referee's assistant said it was a good play. Moore. And Moore looks at a very nice player coming in. I'm not too certain why he was on the bench, but he looked a very good composed player coming in and have made some good take and receive in the midfield and some good pass. Again, Moore putting it over the top, but this time overweighted, and it goes to goalkeeper Romeo, who keeps the ball on his foot, carries it towards the goal line. And when the player comes, he picks up just to run a few more seconds off the clock. D4 kicks it forward and finds Mills. Mills is playing out, trying to throw that pass through for James. Poor pass, the ball is with Moore. Moore beats his man and then try to race on the line and pulls the player in the process, and it's going to be foul against Moore. Try a cheeky one there, but the referee's assistant was right in front of the referee's assistant, so he couldn't get away with it. And that song means that's the end of this game. Signal Hill winning this encounter by 5-2, and Signal Hill have put themselves into what might be tied for second position. And not too certain in terms of the goals, in terms of whether they or themselves or Naparima. And they might be second because Naparima might still be first. So it comes down to that final game between Naparima and Signal Hill to decide who will indeed take the championship this year. And so we got to get a good team maybe from Tobago to go down and give the boys support. So we're gonna let me just recap the second half. 2-0. Signal Hill coming back out, and right after they came back out, a goal was scored. The third goal was scored by Marcel. Just a ball came from the byline, dummied by James, and Marcel just tapped it in. Shortly after that, it was Malic, taking back 2 goals. Goal coming from the boot of Patterson. Nice ball. Taken up indeed from a defense blunder, and he made them pay. And then De Silva standing and heading a ball unchallenged in the area and goal scoring. And then we had right after that James scoring the 4th and the 5th goal for Signal to make it his hat-trick for today. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my teacher, referee, maid, videographer today, Miss Lincoln. And now we have our main videographer just coming in, Mr. Porter. We want to say thank you so much. It has been a wonderful thing for us to carry this game in Tobago for the Premiership. And we're off to Trinidad now for that finals between Naparima and Signal Hill. We had to call it a final because it is a final. Whoever wins will take the championship. So until then, ciao.